This podcast was recorded on Gubby Gubby land and pays respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Welcome back to Tanika Lace the Podcast. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm so excited for you to get to know your menstrual cycle, get to know yourself, get to know me, all the things. And if you've been here for a while, then you just already know how much I love you. And let's get into the episode. So today, actually, let me give you a little life update. I feel like I didn't do a life update really in the last episode, and there's not really going to be much more life updates for a while because I'm currently in my phase of batch recording my podcast episodes because I'm coming to the end of my pregnancy, which is so exciting. I mean, we still have a couple of months to go, but I'm just really getting on top of everything, doing the last final touches. It's like that luteal phase energy, right? Like we're in the completion phase of pregnancy where I'm just kind of like getting all the things wrapped up, tied up so that I can actually take time off before baby comes, because it's not just the physical work, like doing my Bowen therapy clients and my womb healing and intuitive healing with my in-person clients here on the Sunshine Coast, but it's also like the mental, like it just comes with running a business. Like you're constantly going, and I really want to try and just find some time where I can just switch my mind off completely and actually like really have those days where I'm like, nope, I am not thinking about my business. So life update, what has been going on? I have been working a lot. I've been seeing a lot of clients because this is my final month of in-person clients. I'm still continuing my coaching just for a little bit longer, like online, as well as online womb healings and working with my clients who are in mentorship. I will continue that through I'm probably just going to continue with my like clients and only pause them for like a little bit of time. But anyway, what else have we been up to? Honestly, I've been in a hustle era. Last week I had quite a bad week now recording this, it would have been a few weeks ago, but I had quite a bad week just emotionally with coming face to face with a lot of grief to my past self, the version of myself that I am now. And it was just like quite heavy. Like I just felt so hormonal. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I literally on one of the nights last week pulled ham out of the freezer instead of steak, thought that it was steak all day, went to cook dinner, and then just cried for 2 hours straight because I pulled the wrong meat out of the freezer. Like it was actually so dramatic. And Jai is just such a blessing. Like he's just like, okay, get in the car, let's go out for dinner. Like let's not worry about this. And I mean, this was after hours of me crying, like trying to calm down. Sorry. Like I had the shower. I just did everything that usually calms me down, and I was just a fucking mess. But anyway, that has kind of actually just been it. Like I feel like almost my brain actually needs to stop. So yeah, it's kind of interesting times, and yeah, just trying to honor it, but feeling like I'm in a bit of a rush because I do have little baby boy coming. So I'm kind of like, I have all these things I need to get done, and just trying to take my own like advice, my own medicine, and just remind myself it's actually safe to just, we can chill. But yeah, definitely in a bit of a hustle season. But today I wanted to talk about why, pushing past the mindset limitations that come up in the luteal phase. I did like the episode last week with how to quantum leap with your cycle, but I really did focus in on like the mindset blocks, like common mindset blocks that come up. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to follow it with this episode of like pushing past mindset limitations by working with your cycle, but really focusing in on how, like, why am I so self-critical in my luteal phase? And I just want you to like have a bit of an understanding around like why you feel that way, and give you a couple of tips on also how to like work with that. I do have a couple of episodes around just the luteal phase because I know this is the phase where a lot of women struggle with. But yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with how there's actually a real life need for reflection. We are being called into that state of reflection with where our hormones are, progesterone's rising, estrogen has dropped off, and we are in that state of really like coming inward, right? And biologically as well, like this is actually a time where we also want to reflect. Like our brain is almost like craving that due to usually potential motherhood, right? Like our body doesn't know that we're not pregnant yet until our bleed comes. So it is a time when we're going to be quite critical and like reflecting on our goals, on where we are, You might have like a lot of criticism come up because of, it's like, well, if you're about to step into motherhood, like what the fuck needs to change pretty much is like where our brain goes in this phase. And of course, this can lead to actually feeling quite negative because you, rather than focusing on reflecting what's going really well, you're actually probably focusing on what's going wrong. And then you're getting overwhelmed with everything that's feeling like it's going wrong. And it leads to you feeling really inadequate and doubtful of yourself, and that PMS rears its head, and it's like this crazy emotional time. And again, like I've mentioned, it's the wild woman phase, right? So when you don't give space to that, to just like move through your body and how it needs to, then it's just going to continue piling up, and then we're just having like huge emotional breakdowns, and it's just absolutely not fun. So I just want to bring that to your attention, that like the hormones and our brain and everything is kind of working, you could say, against us. But when you understand how to cycle sync and you have awareness around your cycle, shameless plug for the Inner Seasons Masterclass, then you actually can leverage all of this. Like you get to leverage all of this. It doesn't have to be actually like a shit time. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways that I recommend that you sort of reframe your mind, strengthen your mindset in this phase so that you can work with your luteal phase. You can work with the mindset limitations that are in place and, you know, the mindset blocks, because we know that this can be quite a hard phase, and I fully see you in that, but we don't have to settle for this. Especially, anyway, I'm not going to keep on rambling, but something that's like super, super helpful is actually gratitude journaling. And like this could look like for you. So like I know for me, Jai and I, every night, we ask each other just what's one thing you're grateful for today. We practice that every day. Of course, like we're humans and sometimes it's easy to forget, but for the most part, it's a daily practice. But really bringing this into your luteal phase, please, because it's going to encourage you to shift your focus away from how self-critical you are to actually appreciating what's going on. And it can be something really cool, like if you can write them somewhere to see, so that when your emotions are running really high, it can just be like that grounding place for you to go, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, I fucking feel like shit right now, but I'm grateful that I let myself feel these emotions so that they don't stay trapped and stuck in my body to manifest into physical pain, right? There's one example. But, you know, it can be little things like I'm just grateful that I prepped for this luteal phase and I don't have to think about dinner tonight. Or I am grateful that I ordered click and collect for my groceries and I don't have to go into the grocery store, because that actually is a huge hack for the luteal phase. Seriously, like I just do that every week anyway. Sometimes I will go into the shop, but for the most part, I get like all our meat from the butcher and our fruit and veggies and bits from like the organic store. But there's always pantry items and things from Coles, and I hate going in there, so I just do click and collect, and it's just so good. Random little side note. But this phase as well, you know how I said like it's a time of reflection and it's really easy to criticize yourself. But what about instead of criticizing yourself, you actually just lowered your expectations on yourself? So this isn't looking like lowering your standards and like making excuses, well, I'm in my luteal phase, so I'm allowed to XYZ. How about you actually just focus on lowering those expectations for yourself so that you can still reach goals in this phase, but they're not going to be like high, big, juicy, you know, tasks and big things that you have to do. It's kind of like completing of the ongoing projects that you started at the start of your cycle and prep for the next cycle, prep for what you don't want to take into the next cycle. Now, the last like tip I'm going to give you to pushing past this self-criticism is reminding yourself that it's not going to be forever. This too shall pass. And this is a really great motto to go by if, you know, it's feeling like quite a lot for you. Nervous system regulation is going to be your bestie in this phase. I understand that some people have really busy life. So how does this look if you were just to say invite in a calming tea or do a little bit of stretching? It doesn't have to be a whole yoga flow. But if you do have the space, I would highly recommend that you do a breathwork session. And there's plenty of, over on my Insight Timer, meditations and like guided breath work, or even on YouTube there's free, you know, guided breath works and everything, just to really, really like bring down the stress that's in your body and allow you to just feel calm. And this can be a super hard state to find in the luteal phase, especially in the early days of cycle syncing. But this is also why I want to bring the importance to understanding your cycle, working with your cycle, tracking your cycle, because when you know that you're entering this phase of your cycle, you no longer make yourself wrong for it. And yes, it can take time to break out of old, like, norms that have been placed upon you. But for the most part, like, when you start this journey of awareness and syncing your life with your cycle and all of the things, it's really, really going to help you. So I hope that this little ep has given you a couple of just little reasons behind why you actually are feeling self-critical, why you potentially do have those mindset blocks, but how working with your cycle and understanding each phase to set you up for when your self-criticism wants to come up in your luteal phase or your PMS wants to peak in your luteal phase, cycle syncing is the answer. So again, I have my free ebook. I'm going to leave it linked below for you and you can head on over, download that. There's heaps of stuff through there. If you want to take it a step further, I have my Inner Seasons Masterclass. And if you want to go even a step further than that, book in a coaching call with me before I go on maternity leave. And let's actually knuckle down on what's coming up for you personally and how you personally can support yourself, and I can guide you to not feeling like crap, because you don't have to feel like shit. Like, I know it's been normalized in society, but it's common, it's not normal. You don't have to feel super self-critical every single luteal phase. It doesn't have to be a time of overwhelm. It doesn't have to be a time of emotional turmoil. It actually can be a really beautiful, juicy time of self-connection, of intuition, of really honing in on your goals and the bigger picture ahead, and just feeling really lit up by life. Like, it actually gets to feel that way, I promise you. So I'm going to leave you here with that. Let me know over on Instagram at Sacred Space Tanika. Oh my gosh, I just almost gave you the wrong Instagram handle. It's Sacred Space W Tanika Lace is my Instagram handle. Let me know over there how like this episode landed for you. Did this land, right? Like, let me know. I would love to hear. And if you have any, like, you want to have a little chat, just come and have a little chat. Like, I love having a little chat. But yeah, definitely download that ebook, and definitely the Inner Seasons Masterclass is also a slay place for you to really start understanding. So I love you. I look forward to being back in your ears next week. And thank you again for your support on the podcast. Couldn't be here without you.